Hello, everyone. I'm Phoebe, your teacher from Learn English with Stories 365. Welcome to our video, Stop Stuttering and Speak Smoothly. Easy English Speaking Practice. Today, we're going to talk about something many English learners face, stuttering. Do you ever feel your words get stuck? Maybe you're nervous or the sounds feel new. That's okay. Stuttering happens to lots of people, even native speakers. In this video, I'll help you stop stuttering and speak smoothly. You'll feel more confident and it'll be fun. Have you ever wanted to speak English like it's easy? Well, you're in the right place. Understanding stuttering. So, what is stuttering? Stuttering is when your words don't come out smoothly. You might repeat sounds like I want or stop suddenly. Does that sound familiar? It happens to many learners. Sometimes it's because English has tricky sounds, like TH or R. Other times it's because we feel shy or nervous. Have you ever stuttered when you talk to someone new? I know I have. It's normal, and we can fix it together. Today, we'll look at 5 big mistakes, 5 misconceptions that beginners make about stuttering. These mistakes stop you from speaking smoothly. But don't worry, I'll show you how to change that. Let's start with a question. Think about a time you stuttered. What happened? Was it a hard word? Were you talking fast? Or maybe you felt scared. Take a moment to think. If you can, write it down. Writing helps us understand. I'll wait a few seconds. Ready? Great! Knowing why we stutter is the first step to speaking smoothly. For example, I had a student named Maria. She always stuttered when she said beautiful. She thought she couldn't speak English well. But we practiced together and now she says it perfectly. You can do that too. Here's something funny. Even famous people stutter. Did you know King George VI, a real king from England, had a big stuttering problem? He was so nervous to speak in public, but he worked hard with a teacher, just like you're doing now. He even gave speeches on the radio to millions of people. There's a movie about him called The King's Speech. He said, "I had to learn to speak all over again." Isn't that amazing? If a king can stop stuttering, you can too. It just takes practice and a little help from me, Phoebe. Now, let's talk about why we're here. You want to speak English smoothly, right? Maybe you want to talk to friends, order food, or feel good about your English. Stuttering can make that hard. Have you ever tried to say something, but the words didn't come out? It's frustrating. But here's the good news. Stuttering doesn't mean you're bad at English. It's just a small problem we can fix. Over the next parts of this video, I'll show you 5 common mistakes beginners make. These mistakes make you think stuttering is a big deal. It's not. We'll fix them one by one. Let me give you an example. My friend Tom learned English as an adult. He stuttered a lot at first. He tried to say restaurant, but it came out restaurant. He laughed and said, "Phoebe, I sound like a broken radio." I told him, "Tom, even radios can be fixed." We practiced slowly, and soon he was saying restaurant like a native. He felt so happy. You can feel that way too. Have you ever laughed at your own stuttering? It's okay to laugh. It makes learning fun. Here's what we'll do today. In each part of this video, I'll tell you about one or two misconceptions, mistakes beginners make about stuttering. I'll give you easy tips to stop stuttering. We'll practice together with fun exercises. You'll hear stories like Maria's and Tom's to show you it's possible. And I'll give you a daily challenge to try at home. Sound good? I think you'll love it. Learning English doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy and fun with the right help. Before we move on, let's think about stuttering one more time. Why do you think you stutter? Is it hard words? Talking too fast? Feeling shy? Everyone's reason is different. For me, I used to stutter when I was nervous. I'd say, instead of hello. But I practiced, and now I don't stutter much. You can do that too. It's like riding a bike. At first you fall, but with practice, you ride smoothly. Speaking English is the same. Have you ever tried practicing in front of a mirror? It's a great way to see yourself improve. Okay, let's wrap up this part. You've learned what stuttering is and why it happens. You've thought about your own stuttering. And you've heard about King George VI, who worked hard to speak smoothly. In the next part, we'll look at the first big mistake beginners make, thinking stuttering means they're bad at English. It's not true, and I'll show you why. But before we go, here's your daily challenge. Reflect on a recent chat where you stuttered. Maybe it was yesterday or last week. What do you think caused it? Was it a hard word? Were you nervous? Think about it today. Write it down if you can. This will help you understand your stuttering. Try it, and I'll see you in the next part. Misconception 1. Stuttering means I'm not good at English. Now let's talk about the first big mistake beginners make. Many people think, if I stutter, I'm not good at English. Does that sound like you? Maybe you stutter on a word like apple, and you think, oh no, my English is terrible. But here's the truth. Stuttering doesn't mean you're bad at English. It's a common mistake to think that. Even native speakers stutter sometimes. Have you ever heard someone say, I don't know in English? I have! It's normal, and today I'll show you why this misconception is wrong. You'll feel better about your English, I promise. Let's start with something simple. Stuttering is just a small problem with how words come out. It's not about how much English you know. For example, my student Anna was great at reading and writing English. But when she spoke, she stuttered a lot. She said book instead of book. She felt sad and told me, "Phoebe, I'm so bad at English." I said, "Anna, no. You know a lot of English. Stuttering is just a speaking thing. We can fix it." We practiced together and soon she spoke smoothly. You can do that too. Have you ever felt bad about stuttering? It's okay to feel that way, but it's not true that you're bad at English. Here's a funny thing. Even famous people stutter and they're amazing at English. Did you know the actor James Earl Jones stuttered as a child? He's the voice of Darth Vader in Star Wars. That deep, strong voice, can you believe he used to stutter? He said I was a stutterer. I couldn't talk, but he practiced reading aloud, and his voice became smooth and powerful. If James Earl Jones can go from stuttering to being a movie star, you can stop stuttering too. It's not about being bad at English. It's about practicing to speak smoothly. Isn't that inspiring? You don't need to be perfect, you just need to try. Let's think about native speakers for a moment. Native English speakers stutter all the time. Have you ever listened to someone talk fast or get nervous? Maybe they say, or repeat words. That's like stuttering. My friend Lucy is a native speaker. One day she was telling a story and said, "I went to this store." She laughed and said, "Oops, I sound like a broken record." I told her, "See, Lucy? Everyone stutters sometimes." So, if native speakers stutter, it can't mean you're bad at English. It's just a normal part of talking. Have you ever noticed someone else stutter? It happens more than you think. Now, let's try something fun. I want you to practice with me. We're going to say a tongue twister. Don't worry, it's easy and it'll help you speak smoothly. The tongue twister is, she sells seashells. Say it with me, she sells seashells. Did you stutter? That's okay. Let's try it again, but slower this time. She sells seashells. Feel how the words come out smoothly when you go slow? Great job! This is a fun way to practice speaking. Have you ever tried a tongue twister before? They're silly, but they help a lot. Practice makes your mouth and brain work together better. Here's why this matters. When you think stuttering means you're bad at English, you feel shy. You might stop talking because you're scared. But that's not good. Talking is how you get better. My student Anna stopped talking in class because she was afraid of stuttering. I told her, "Anna, don't stop. Stuttering doesn't mean you're bad. It's just practice." She started talking more and her stuttering got better. You can do that too. Don't let this misconception stop you. Have you ever stopped talking because you stutter? Next time, keep going. It's okay to make mistakes. Let's think about something else. English is a big language with lots of words and sounds. Some sounds are hard, like th and thank you. When you're learning, it's normal to stutter on those sounds. It doesn't mean you're bad, it means you're learning. My friend Tom, who I told you about before, stuttered on restaurant. He practiced it slowly, and now he says it perfectly. You can practice hard words too. What's a word you stutter on? Think about it. Maybe it's water or friend. Everyone has a tricky word. That's normal, and it's not about being bad at English. Here's a little secret. Speaking smoothly takes time. Even native speakers need time to learn as kids. Did you know babies stutter when they start talking? They say, mama, or dee, da, da. It's cute, right? But they practice, and they get better. You're like that too. You're learning English, and stuttering is part of the process. It doesn't mean you're bad. It means you're growing. Have you ever watched a child learn to talk? They don't give up, and neither should you. Okay, let's wrap up this part. You've learned that stuttering doesn't mean you're bad at English. Native speakers stutter. Famous people like James Earl Jones stuttered and still became great. And you can practice to speak smoothly, like with our tongue twister, she sells seashells. In the next part, we'll talk about another mistake. Thinking you need perfect grammar to speak smoothly. Spoiler, you don't. But before we go, here's your daily challenge. Say, she sells seashells 3 times slowly today. Focus on clear sounds, not speed. Do it in front of a mirror if you can. It's fun and it'll help you stop stuttering. Try it today and I'll see you in the next part. Misconception 2. I need perfect grammar to speak smoothly. Let's move on to the second big mistake beginners make. Many people think, I need perfect grammar to speak smoothly. Have you ever thought that? Maybe you're afraid to talk because you don't know all the grammar rules. You might think, if my grammar is wrong, I'll stutter. But that's not true. You don't need perfect grammar to speak smoothly. In fact, focusing too much on grammar can make you stutter more. Today, I'll show you why this misconception is wrong. You'll see that speaking smoothly is about clear communication, not perfect sentences. Ready? Let's get started. First, let's think about native speakers. Native English speakers don't always use perfect grammar. Have you ever heard someone say, I go shop, instead of I'm going to the shop? I hear it all the time. My friend Mark is a native speaker. He often says, me and my friend went out. Grammar teachers would say that's wrong. It should be my friend and I. But Mark speaks smoothly and everyone understands him. He doesn't stutter because he's not worried about grammar. He just talks. You can do that too. Have you ever noticed native speakers make grammar mistakes? It's more common than you think. Here's a relatable story. My student Carlos was so worried about grammar. He wanted every sentence to be perfect. When he spoke, he stopped a lot to think about rules. He'd say, I am going to the store. He stuttered because he was thinking too hard. I told him, Carlos, forget the rules for now. Just say what you mean. He tried saying, I go store. It wasn't perfect grammar, but it was smooth. He laughed and said, Phoebe, I sound like a caveman. I said, Carlos, cavemen don't stutter, and neither should you. We both laughed. It's okay to keep it simple. Have you ever stopped talking to fix your grammar? Next time, don't stop. Just keep going. Let's hear from someone famous. Albert Einstein, the genius scientist, once said, I speak English very badly. He lived in America and spoke English every day, but his grammar wasn't perfect. He used simple sentences and made mistakes. But people understood him, and he didn't stutter. He focused on his ideas, not his grammar. If Einstein could speak English without perfect grammar, you can too. Isn't that amazing? You don't need to be a grammar expert to speak smoothly. You just need to communicate. Have you ever tried speaking without worrying about rules? It's freeing. Now, let's try something together. I want you to say a simple sentence with me. The sentence is, I like food. Easy, right? Say it aloud. I like food. Did you stutter? Probably not. It's short and clear. You don't need fancy grammar to say it. Let's try it again. I like food. See how smooth that feels? Native speakers say simple things like this all the time. You don't need to say, I am liking the food very much to sound good. Simple is better. Have you ever practiced simple sentences? They're a great way to stop stuttering. Here's why this misconception is a problem. When you focus on perfect grammar, you think too much. Your brain gets busy with rules and your mouth can't keep up. That's when you stutter. My student Carlos learned this the hard way. After he stopped worrying about grammar, he spoke more smoothly. He said, Phoebe, I feel lighter when I talk now. You can feel that way too. Speaking English should be easy, not stressful. Don't let grammar stop you. Have you ever felt stressed about grammar rules? It's time to let that go. Let's think about communication. Speaking is about sharing ideas, not showing off grammar. Imagine you're at a restaurant. You want water. Do you say, I would like some water, please, or just water, please? Both work. The waiter understands you, and that's what matters. My friend Lucy once ordered food by saying, Give me pizza. It wasn't polite or perfect, but she got her pizza and she didn't stutter. You can keep it simple too. What's something you'd say at a restaurant? Try saying it simply. It's okay to skip the extra grammar. Here's another example. Kids learning English don't know grammar, but they speak smoothly. My nephew is 5. He says, "I want play." It's not correct grammar. It should be, "I want to play." But he says it smoothly, and I understand him. Kids don't worry about rules. They just talk. You can learn from that. Speaking smoothly is about confidence, not grammar. Have you ever watched a child speak English? They're brave, and you can be brave too. Let's wrap up this part. You've learned that you don't need perfect grammar to speak smoothly. Native speakers like Mark make grammar mistakes and still sound fine. Einstein spoke English with bad grammar, but he communicated well. And my student Carlos stopped stuttering when he stopped stressing about rules. Speaking is about sharing ideas, not being perfect. In the next part, we'll talk about another mistake. Thinking speaking fast makes you sound fluent. Spoiler, it doesn't. But before we go, here's your daily challenge. Record 3 simple sentences today. Try something like, "I eat rice," "I like tea," or "I go home." Focus on clear sounds, not grammar. Use your phone or just say them aloud. Do it today and feel how smooth you can be. I'll see you in the next part. Misconception 3. Speaking fast makes me sound fluent. Let's dive into the third big mistake beginners make. Many people think, speaking fast makes me sound fluent. Have you ever tried to talk really fast in English? Maybe you thought, if I speak quickly, I'll sound like a native speaker. But here's the truth. Speaking fast doesn't make you fluent. In fact, it can make you stutter more. Today, I'll show you why this misconception is wrong. You'll learn that speaking slowly is the key to smooth speech. It's better to be clear than fast. Let's get started. First, let's think about why people want to speak fast. You might see native speakers talking quickly and think, that's fluency. But here's a secret. Native speakers don't always talk fast. My friend Sarah is a native speaker. When she's relaxed, she speaks slowly and clearly. But when she's nervous, she talks fast and stutters. One day she said, I need to go. She laughed and told me, "Phoebe, I sound like a robot when I rush." Even native speakers stumble when they go too fast. Have you ever tried to speak fast and got stuck? It's normal, and it's not fluency. Here's a relatable story. My student Ravi wanted to sound fluent so badly. He tried to speak English as fast as he could. He'd say, "I want to go tathaster." All the words smashed together. He stuttered a lot, and no one understood him. He said, "Phoebe, why do I sound worse when I go fast?" I told him, "Ravi, speaking fast is like driving a car too fast. It's risky. Slow is safe and smooth." He tried speaking slowly and his stuttering got better. You can do that too. Have you ever rushed your words and felt confused? Slowing down helps. Let's hear from someone famous. The great speaker Winston Churchill once said, "Speak slowly, and the words will take care of themselves." Churchill was a leader in England, and his speeches were powerful. He didn't rush. He spoke slowly and clearly, and people listened. He didn't stutter because he took his time. If Churchill used slow speech to inspire millions, you can use it to speak smoothly. Isn't that cool? You don't need to race through your words. Slow and steady wins the race. Have you ever tried speaking slowly on purpose? It's worth a try. Now, let's practice together. I want you to say a sentence with me. The sentence is, "I love learning English." First, say it fast. I love learning English. Did you stumble? That's okay. Now say it at half speed. I love learning English. Feel how smooth that is? When you go slow, your mouth has time to make the sounds. Let's try it again. I love learning English. Great job. Slow speech is smooth speech. Have you ever practiced slowing down? It's a simple trick that works. Here's why speaking fast causes problems. When you rush, your brain and mouth get out of sync. Your brain thinks the words, but your mouth can't keep up. That's when you stutter. My student Ravi learned this the hard way. After he slowed down, he said, "Phoebe, I feel calm when I talk now." You can feel calm too. Speaking slowly gives you control. It's like walking instead of running, you don't trip. Have you ever felt rushed when you speak? Next time, take it slow. Let's think about real life. Imagine you're ordering food. You could say, "You want chicken, please?" really fast. But the waiter might not understand. Now try it slowly. "I want chicken, please." It's clear and you don't stutter. My friend Tom once ordered coffee too fast. He said, "I want a coffee," and the waiter gave him tea. We laughed and Tom said, "Phoebe, I need to slow down." He tried again slowly and he got his coffee. Slow speech helps people understand you. What's something you'd order? Try saying it slowly right now. Here's another example. Kids learning English don't rush. My niece is 6. She says, "I like to play." It's slow, but it's smooth. She doesn't worry about speed. She just wants to be understood. Adults can learn from that. Speaking slowly builds confidence. You don't need to race to sound good. Have you ever watched a child speak slowly? They take their time and it works. You can do that too. Let's wrap up this part. You've learned that speaking fast doesn't make you fluent. Native speakers like Sarah stutter when they rush. Churchill spoke slowly and inspired the world. And my student Ravi stopped stuttering when he slowed down. Speaking slowly is the key to smooth speech. It's better to be clear than fast. In the next part, we'll talk about 2 more mistakes: thinking you should avoid hard words and believing stuttering will go away on its own. Spoiler, you need to face those hard words in practice. But before we go, here's your daily challenge. Read a short paragraph aloud slowly today. Pick something easy, like a page from a storybook or a message on your phone. Aim for smoothness, not speed. Do it once today and feel how calm and clear you sound. I'll see you in the next part. Misconceptions 4 and 5. I should avoid difficult words, and stuttering will go away on its own. Now we're at the last part of our video. Let's talk about 2 more big mistakes beginners make. The first is thinking, I should avoid difficult words. The second is believing stuttering will go away on its own. Have you ever thought these things? Maybe you skip hard words like beautiful because they're tricky. Or maybe you hope stuttering will just disappear without practice. Both ideas are wrong. Today, I'll show you why avoiding hard words stops your growth and why practice is the only way to stop stuttering. You'll feel ready to speak smoothly by the end. Let's dive in. Let's start with the first misconception. I should avoid difficult words. Many learners think hard words make them stutter, so they use easy words instead. But here's the truth. Avoiding hard words limits your English. You need to learn new words to grow. My student Sarah used to avoid the word beautiful. She'd say nice instead because beautiful made her stutter. She said, "But beautiful is too hard, Phoebe." I told her, Sarah, don't run from it. Practice it. She practiced beautiful every day, and soon she said it smoothly. Now she loves that word. Have you ever skipped a hard word? It's okay, but you can learn it instead. Here's why this matters. Hard words are part of English. If you avoid them, you miss out. Imagine you want to say delicious about your food, but you say good because it's easier. Delicious sounds better, right? My friend Lucy once said, Phoebe, I tried to say scrumptious and it came out stash crumptious. We laughed and I said, Lucy, it's a tasty word, keep practicing. She did, and now she says it smoothly. Don't avoid hard words. Practice them and your speech will get stronger. What's a hard word you've avoided? Think about it. Now let's try something. Pick a hard word, Maybe it's delicious or wonderful. Say it aloud 5 times. Go slow at first. Delicious. Then try it faster. Delicious. Did you stutter? That's okay. Keep practicing. I'll wait a few seconds while you try. Ready? Great! Practicing hard words helps you stop stuttering. Have you ever practiced a tricky word until it felt easy? It's fun to see yourself improve. Let's move to the second misconception. stuttering will go away on its own. Some people think if I wait, my stuttering will stop. But that's not true. Stuttering doesn't disappear without work. You need to practice to make it better. My student Ahmed thought his stuttering would go away by itself. He didn't practice speaking. Months passed and he still stuttered. He said, "Phoebe, it's not working." I told him, "Ahmed, stuttering is like a weed in a garden. You have to pull it out with practice." He started practicing every day and his speech got smoother. You need to practice too. Have you ever hoped stuttering would just stop? It's time to take action. Here's an inspiring story. The singer Ed Sheeran used to stutter as a kid. He said, "I had a really bad stutter. Rapping helped me get rid of it." Ed practiced speaking and singing every day. He didn't wait for stuttering to go away, he worked hard. Now he's a world-famous singer with smooth speech. If Ed Sheeran can stop stuttering with practice, you can too. It's not about waiting. It's about doing. Isn't that motivating? You have the power to change your speech. Have you ever tried practicing every day? It works. Let's think about practice. Speaking English is like exercising. If you want strong muscles, you lift weights. If you want smooth speech, you practice words. My student Sarah practiced beautiful daily. Ahmed practiced simple sentences. They didn't avoid hard words and they didn't wait. They worked and they improved. You can do that too. Practice is the key to stop stuttering. What's one thing you could practice today? Maybe a hard word or a sentence? Try it. Here's our 1-minute recap. We've covered 5 big misconceptions about stuttering. First, stuttering doesn't mean you're bad at English. Even native speakers stutter. Second, you don't need perfect grammar to speak smoothly. Simple is fine. Third, speaking fast doesn't make you fluent. Slow is better. Fourth, don't avoid hard words. Practice them to grow. And fifth, stuttering won't go away on its own. You need to work at it. With these tips, you can stop stuttering and speak smoothly. Keep practicing and you'll see results. Let's wrap up. You've learned that avoiding hard words limits you, and waiting won't stop stuttering. Sarah practiced beautiful and succeeded. Ed Sheeran worked hard and became a star. Practice is the answer. In this video, we've busted 5 myths and given you tools to speak smoothly. You're ready to take charge of your English. Before we go, here's your daily challenge. Choose 3 tricky words like delicious, wonderful, or fantastic. Use each one in a sentence and record yourself. Say them slowly and clearly. Do it today and feel your confidence grow.
That's all for today's video, and I'm so proud of you for learning with me. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to subscribe to Learn English with Stories 365 for more fun ways to improve your English. Also, come join our friendly community on Facebook in our group, Learn English with Stories 365. We'd love to hear from you and practice together. Oh, and one more thing. Make sure to download our free PDF, 1000 Most Common English Words, to keep growing your vocabulary. The links for the Facebook group and the PDF are right in the description below. Thank you for being here. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.